Now here's a question for you. Can entrepreneurship make Africa rise? That is, can Africa benefit from its entrepreneurs? And where are these entrepreneurs? And what do they do? Or what should they do? Because we all know that entrepreneurship brings about products and services through innovation. Okay, all big words, but those are the things that need to be done. So an entrepreneur needs to come up with a product or a service that sells. Once they sell that product, they make money and they grow the business. Once the business starts to grow, they employ more people, and this is how the Googles and the Apples and the Amazons of the United States have made it, and some big companies in China as well. But if you look at how they started off with just 1 or 2 or 3 people that then were able to grow the company by providing a product or a service. Now, Africa is replete with so many challenges, and to every challenge there is an opportunity or more than one opportunity. In fact, a single challenge can bring about more than one opportunity, and it's up to the innovation of the entrepreneurs to come up with a plan. And a plan is what we're missing. But my take on entrepreneurship in Africa is that at the moment I think we are too romantic about being an entrepreneur. So we look at the people that have made it big across the world, and we think that maybe there is a formula to follow. But the thing is, each and every one of these people have their own singular story to tell. Okay, 20 years ago there was no Facebook, and nobody knew that a company like Facebook could be made up. But it was up to Mark Zuckerberg and some of his friends who started off with Facebook, and to take it where it is today, to the extent that the valuation of Facebook and of Google and of Apple are bigger than some of the economies in the third world. Okay, it's true, and we need to figure out how they've done that. But also we need to figure out ourselves, because sometimes it's not about how someone else has done it, but it's about what you can do in your own circumstances, because circumstances are different. So we cannot follow a kind of blueprint. I think the only blueprint to follow is that the people that make it are the doers. These are the people who do something instead of talking about something. Instead of being romantic about doing a business, they're actually doing a business. A business is basically repeating the simple things that everyone else takes for granted, or that everyone else is too lazy to do. Those are the people that make it. And you wonder why a big supermarket is making a few pennies of profit on each product, but they sell products at scale, and that is how they manage to do business. So we need to think of a new model which is based on the individual. We need to think about how we can teach the individual the concept of capital, so that the individual can see capital when they see it, or can recognize it. Because most of the time we think, oh, I don't have money to start something. Yet you have everything you need, because the most important thing you have is your brain, and then your ability to execute, to do stuff, to do things, like making this video, for example. Okay, if I'd been too lazy to make this video, then this video would not exist, and you would not be able to listen to these words. So it's about doing. And on my part, I think I've picked on something which I think I can do 24/7, which is talking to you, taking advantage of the smartphone, the mobile phone, which I think is the biggest thing that's happened to us in the last 10 years, and I think it's the most innovative tool that we can rely on. because now everyone can become an entrepreneur just by owning a smartphone. Everyone can become a radio station by just owning a smartphone. Everyone can just can be able to share their music. And by sharing music, talking to one young man, and what I noticed is that his notion of music was probably to do with producing quality music and then distributing it. So he's looking at social media as a distribution channel. A distribution channel is a place where you distribute something. And if he's treating social media as a distribution channel for stuff that he makes elsewhere, then I think there's a problem in that it might take a long time before he can actually produce something of what he thinks is quality. Because whatever he thinks is quality may not be quality to the market. So you might be disappointed that the music that he thinks is quality, that he has spent time on, is actually not accepted by the market. And then maybe something that is just saying out of the blue can actually be the song that the market accepts. So I think social media, especially the platforms like Facebook Live and Instagram and Snapchat and Musical.ly, I think those platforms are important for artists because they can churn out music day in, day out. I think one of the fears is that if you churn out music like that, then other people are going to copy it. But I think if you're authentic and if you keep on doing it, then eventually people will warm up to you. The market will accept. The market will accept because they know that you're working hard at this. And so there's nothing that should be stopping you. You should not be waiting for that jam of a release before you start uploading to YouTube, for example, to Musical.ly. I think if you're a musician, then you should be on Musical.ly like 24/7, churning out music, churning out content. Okay, the more content you put out, the more likely you're going to strike a chord with some of your music. So even if it takes 1 in every 100 songs, so be it. You're a musician. If that's all you do in your life, then you get better at it, and people can see how experienced you are. People can see when you're doing something and you just seem to get on with it. People can notice that, and sometimes that is what the market is looking for. Okay, so I just wanted to encourage entrepreneurs that if you found something that you can be entrepreneurial about, then what you need to be doing is to be making sure that it's something that you're doing on a daily basis, not something that you think about while you're showering or when you're having dinner, because you have no access to your phone at that point. Then as soon as you get back your phone, you're scrolling up and down Facebook feeds, and you're scrolling up and down not Snapchat but Twitter feeds, and at the end of the day you are consuming more content than you will ever produce. So there has to come a time when you have to reduce the amount that you're consuming, because if you think about it, you're probably consuming about 80-90% of content and producing almost maybe 10 or less percent of content. So you need to be at least 50-50, okay, to start with. Then you need to start producing more than you're consuming. Okay, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, then you need to be producing. It's like if you're going to be a business person, a businessman, a businesswoman, then you need to produce products and services that you are going to sell. Okay, and not be the person who is buying 80-90% of the things and only producing about 10%. You need to be the person who is producing the products and services so that the market can buy from you. Okay, so I think Africa can make it, but we need to educate entrepreneurs, and I think that is one of my mission. Thank you for listening.